Hey everyone, it's Friday and it's blog day, and boy, the Web Warriors are swinging in with quite a disruption to our plans for Dark Dimension 5. That's right, there's some new information if you guys aren't aware. I want to thank Mobile Gamer for sharing this to the community, guys. It's a big deal. This is over here on Twitter. If you guys want to take a look at my Twitter, I'm RemanX for us. You guys can follow me and get updates, but it looks like we now know the uniques for the announced characters. So we got Magic, Scarlet Spider, Spider Punk, and Ghost Spider. And so Superior Arcane Magic, those are the books like Ebony Maw takes. The Oz formula, well, we kind of figured that 2 would take that, but Alien Spores from Ghost Spider, pretty interesting. So stay tuned, because that's going to change a little bit of what we're talking about. So one thing is, the blog showed up today, and boy, did we get more than we bargained for. And it came down to this raid team that looks like it's going to be incredible, surpassing Symbiotes. I think Symbiotes' time has already been ticking a little bit longer than we thought it should. At the end of Doom 1.1, they didn't feel like they were in a great place, and we were begging for a new bio team. And then when Doom 2 took place and we saw how bad tech was, we really treasured our Symbiotes. That being said, the team that's probably the closest that we really want to see replicated is Mystic. Mystic feels like it's in a good spot. You're at 2.3, the hardest raid. If you have your team built up and manage your cooldowns perfectly, and or just hit auto with the Eternals, you can get it done. So this team is shaping up to be kind of a full bio solution. So let's talk about the characters. So really quickly, without going into too much detail, I want to talk about what is available to them outside of the raids that might make them Dark Dimension viable. So we're going to start with Ghost Spider. Now, Ghost Spider does have a passive, and this is going to be, I think, the key to her kit is going to be what's in her passive here, right? Okay. When an enemy attacks a Web Warrior ally, attack the enemy for 250 damage. So if you can partner up with a Web Warrior ally, she's going to do some pretty good reciprocal damage. Now, more importantly, she has 25% base damage built into her kit, so she's probably going to be a high red star target. Stay tuned. We'll take a look. It can vary. We don't have those numbers exactly yet. Okay, so the rest of this happens in raids, but let's talk about her abilities, because this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so her ultimate, a web snare. Attack all enemies for 330% damage. Spread all negative effects from the primary target to all secondary targets. All right. Now, while it doesn't spread stun, ability block, or trauma, that's going to do a lot of what Cloak and Dagger could be bringing to the party. So stay tuned. We're going to get right into why I think there's some synergy there that might make the city nodes a breeze. Now, Alien Spores means that you're probably not going to be able to partner up with Symbiote Spider-Man or Anti-Venom. So that's going to be a kind of a thoughtful idea. So the next part about this is you've got a single target ability block. All right, with slows. So that's going to be something to take note of. Okay. So realistically, that's the first character I'm thinking of replacing like Anti-Venom with, because she takes Alien Spores. So we're talking about Scarlet Spider. Now, Scarlet Spider has some pretty cool effects, but we're going to go to his passive and kind of dig in. You're going to see, realistically, again, we're going to take away everything he does outside of in raids. Doesn't matter. They're phenomenal there. Let's talk about what happens. All right, on 50% chance to apply Evade to one random non-summoned Web Warrior ally. Okay. And then unsuccessful attack by this character or any Web Warrior ally, there's a heal. Right? Doesn't seem like a great chance. The big difference is the plus 30% max health. So partnering him up with another Web Warrior, more importantly, having the extra health, is going to make them pretty beefy when it comes down to survivability in a high damage environment, or a high survivability environment. But that's not the reason why you're bringing him. The reason you're bringing him is because of the fact that I don't know, with a very low 4/4 cost, he's going to prolong the duration of random negative effects that, I don't know, Cloak or Dagger might be applying blind, defense down, slow, disrupt, and allowing Ghost Spider to spread that. So you're going to be able to control large swaths of a Dark Dimension node. Now, whether or not this is the best solution, it does solve a bit of the problem if we take some of the earlier bio. It depends on what these guys have for in their kits as far as what percentage of bio they take. Maybe they throw our balance off. But this is the reason why I've been saying wait, is because it's very clear that these guys do have some additional synergy and they can make things happen. So just looking at that from a very keen perspective, you could see that there's, with the slows on the targets, he can clear all positive effects, including death proof. So they can get through enemies relatively quickly, and they're going to have a lot of extra synergy there. So I think those are the two. I do like Spider-Punk. I think he's a really interesting character, and I did think about Spider-Man because of the drain on his special. But realistically, a lot of what Spider-Punk was doing was inside of raids. Obviously, there's the Web Warrior dodge with apply offense up, and then clear heal block. The crit chance was interesting. I just didn't feel like it was doing enough where the extension of debuffs seemed a lot more appealing to me with the spread. This is, again, a lot of this stuff was in raids. You can see the big difference where this was, where this actually differed. Although his basic is pretty incredible as a 500% damage basic, pretty insane. So I'm thinking Scarlet Spider. I'm thinking Ghost Spider. But I will tell you out loud that you need to think about how much Aztec and how much Alien Spores you have yet again, and think about these characters for Dark Dimension 5. And just as a quick aside here, are symbiotes done? I think there's going to be a reason to have symbiotes later on down the line, but I don't think if you can get your hands on this Web Warrior team, and we'll probably showcase them and try to showcase at lower red stars at the beginning. If you get your hands on this team, I think you're going to have a better team that's built to last. It's been kind of their modus operandi when they're building raid teams, is they're kind of giving you a raid team. It seems like it's blowing through the current raid when they build it for you, but it's actually getting outclassed. Like even Mutant right now doesn't feel like it's in the best spot. If I was to rank it, it would be Tech, Bio, which now we have a solution for, right? It would be Tech obviously being the worst, Bio being the second worst, probably Mutant, and then Skill and Mystic. And you could probably, depending on the day, swap Mystic and Skill, depending on the characters you've chosen. If you have Shang-Chi and the Secret Avengers built up, you're probably chewing through those nodes. So stay tuned. When this goes live, we're gonna be taking a look at their assist mechanic and digging really in to if there's any ISO recommendations that pop up with what their ISO attacks look like. So that'll be something we do on patch day. We'll probably do a video based on this. We got some things we're leaning towards. I just don't want you to invest in your Spider-Man and Miles, especially if this is subject to change. So stay tuned. We'll get that information in your hands on patch day. Remember, I do things so you don't have to. And I've been sitting here for the past 3.5 hours since the blog came out after having dinner with a fam and trying to decipher which I'm leaning towards right now. See you soon.